I am a language nerd. I love learning languages and learning about languages. But not everyone learns English for fun. Maybe you're learning English because you have to. Learning a language can be fun. I promise it can. But I know it can feel incredibly difficult. And sometimes you might wonder, why am I doing this? Maybe I should just stop. I don't want to touch English ever again. You might be feeling unmotivated. It's understandable. Language is abstract, so it can be difficult to see progress. I want to talk about motivation today because I don't want you to stop learning English. I don't want you to stop moving toward your goals. And a lack of motivation can be enough to stop you learning entirely. Let's talk about it. I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions to help you think about this topic. The reason I'm asking questions instead of simply giving you advice is because learning a language is very personal. Also, what motivates you is very personal. At the end, I hope thinking about these questions helps you feel less frustrated and more motivated to continue, even if that means taking a break for a while. Because taking some time away is also an important part of the learning process. Okay, here are my questions for you to think about. Number 1, do you really want to learn English? Maybe you think it's a silly question, but think about it. If you're learning English because you have to, for work, for school, for travel, then it might be harder to stay motivated because the desire is not coming from you, but some external factor. But maybe you really want to learn English and you are still feeling unmotivated. First, think about if this is a deep lack of motivation, like I don't want to learn English ever again, or is it a temporary lack of motivation, like I really don't feel like learning English today? If you're feeling a temporary lack of motivation, my advice is take a break. Of course, I always recommend to study English every day, but it's also super important to take breaks to rest. Don't worry, you won't lose your English if you take a break. Rest and come back later. But if you're feeling a deep lack of motivation, then I recommend watching the rest of this video. These questions might help you. Number 2, what are your expectations and are they reasonable? Do an expectations audit. When you started learning English, what did you imagine the process would be like? Did you imagine that every day would be amazing and you would be fluent in English in 30 days? This happens with several of my students. They have this expectation of really fast progress. It's possible, sure, but you have to consider your situation. Are you working full-time? Are you a full-time student? Do you have a family? If yes, you will probably have less time and less energy to learn English in general. Can you become fluent in English in 30 days? No, first of all, but can you become fluent in 6 months? Sure. If learning English is your full-time job and you have a special program with native speakers, is that your situation? Probably not. Think about your expectations. Are your expectations reasonable? If your expectation was, I will be fluent in English in 1 year, but you are a full-time student, you have a part-time job, and you have a family, then no, this is not such a reasonable expectation. Unmet expectations can be a huge source of discouragement and demotivation when you're learning a language. So, if you're feeling unmotivated, check your expectations. Number 3, are you comparing yourself to others? I sure hope you aren't. It seems to be a very natural thing to compare yourself to others. Maybe you often think that person's English is better than mine. Don't do that. That thought can create a chain reaction until you're thinking some dark thoughts. Remember, comparison is the thief of joy. Don't let anyone steal your joy. Are you comparing yourself to others? Don't do that. Walk your road. Don't try to walk someone else's road. Number 4, do you actually enjoy English? This is why I didn't learn German. I had time, energy, clear expectations, and a smart goal. But I stopped learning German because I simply didn't enjoy the language. So, do you actually enjoy English? If not, why? Is it the type of content? Is the topic boring? Is it too difficult or too easy? What do you enjoy in your native language? Can you find it in English? Use resources you enjoy. If you're learning for school, how can you make the language more fun? Can you find materials in English that make you excited? I'm learning Spanish right now, and one of the things I do is watch YouTube videos and TV series that I find interesting. Is it still work and effort? Yes, but learning a language requires effort. Effort and work are not bad things. My general advice is keep doing what you like, stop doing what you hate. Question number 5, are you using English in your everyday life? If your goal is to be comfortable using English, then making it part of your everyday life will help you. What are some ways you can bring English into your everyday life? It can be small ways. You don't have to study it like a student. Again, find the things you enjoy. Question 6, are you practicing English? If you aren't using English, it can feel like maybe English is a waste of your time, or you might feel like you aren't making progress. You don't have to pay for a teacher to practice. Check out social media or other free options. Talk to ChatGPT. Write a journal. Post on Instagram and ask for corrections. Practicing may feel uncomfortable, but it's a very natural way to learn. And in general, the rule is use it or lose it. Question number 7. Are you keeping things fresh? If you're not feeling motivated, try something new. Try a new material or format. Try a new subject. Try a new language for a while. If you like gardening, there's a concept about using your field for a different crop in the winter. Farmers do this to increase the quality of their field. I do that with languages I learn. For some people, like me, it can be very difficult to stay in one language for months and months and months. I practice one language for a while, then switch to another one. It keeps things fresh and interesting for my brain. When I return to the original language, I feel stronger and more energized. If you can, do that with English. English will still be there when you come back. Last question. Are you rewarding yourself? Are you giving yourself credit? You are doing an amazing thing. Celebrate that. Are you patting yourself on the back? You should. Pat yourself on the back. Celebrate small wins. Why not? It's okay to feel good about progress, even if it's small. If you don't want to celebrate your wins, I will. Woo! Good job. You're doing great. It's okay to feel unmotivated sometimes. Everyone feels unmotivated sometimes. Just because you feel it now doesn't mean you'll feel it always. Learning a language is a long process, and there will be ups and downs. That's okay. That's part of the process. Don't panic. Just keep your head down and keep going. You can do this. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Bye.